back with the picks for UFC Paris. All right, and we got a good bunch of fights here today. Only big fight we lost was for SCM going against. I can't believe it, man. Still didn't get a ranked opponent after all he's been through, but you know, thinking about him and the death in his family, hope he's doing well. But starting with our first fight, Shauna Bannon versus Sam Hughes. Starting off with Mama B and Sam Hughes. Mama B at a plus 250, at least on ESPN betting. I'm liking Mama B in the big cage in Paris. See, the reason why her time zone, I'm just thinking about the little advantages. She has a good bottom game, so if she gets taken down, she has always an opportunity maybe to snatch up a submission, and I think her legs are, wiry enough. She can kick off the hips and get up. And she can just always be active with her guard and mitigate damage. She doesn't really have a cardio issue from what I've seen at all. And I really like her, I can't remember if it's Taekwondo and karate style, with that lead leg, She keeps it popping out there. She keeps distance out there the whole time. It makes it hard for people coming in, and she just racks up points as the fight goes on. So I think she's going to be able to do that to Sam Hughes here, especially with being able to utilize both stances. But this is a very even fight, in my opinion. I feel like a lot of stats line up here, and I don't think this betting line should be that far apart. But I understand it because of the, Sam Hughes being more of the cardio, push forward, get him against the cage. That can be a problem for Shauna Bannon. But I think she's going to utilize that front leg well and hopefully utilize the footwork well. Next, controversial fight, man. This one's got people split. Andreas Gustafsson versus Hennat Fakhretdinov. Okay. Look, I'm going with Andreas Gustafsson. Dude, this guy's style with the Greco-Roman clinch up top, and just absolutely obliterating them with the knees and elbows and close and shot and just wearing on them. And, it's incredibly hard to take him down, and he gets his own takedowns pretty well, and he has a good variety of them. Look at his average, 6.4 takedowns average. I mean, we're going to have to hope Hennat can cage wrestle better than he can and just clinch wrestle into the chain wrestling or just shoot low, and that Andreas can't sprawl well enough, but I can't imagine this. And the thing is, Hennat's going to play into the game, and I think that's just going to give Andreas more time to land the knees that he wants to land. But who knows, maybe Hennat has practiced catching those knees and going in for takedowns in that clinch position. Who knows? He's going to need all the this is Andreas Gustafsson's coming out party right here if he can win this fight in spectacular fashion. I'm a believer. When I saw that Contender Series fight and saw it build up over time, like how he was kind of just slowly wearing on him, I was like, oh, this is a little bit of a weird stuff. But then the knees just started piling on over and over. This guy's crazy. I love me some Gustafsson. So recovered white supremacist, I think. Not anymore, so congrats to that as well. But we'll keep moving on. No comment. Brad Tavares and Bryczek. All right. I'm actually gonna go with Bryczek. Let me just get my little notes here back up. Only losing to Ihor Peteria in a unanimous decision. To be fair, Ihor Peteria is a decent striker, but leaves himself wide open and gets knocked out by the top of the division. But before that, though, this guy was getting round one finishes like crazy in Octagon. And I think he's going to be really dangerous early. And I just think a little bit of an older Brad Tavares, who's, I think, just takes a while to get going early. Even still, I'm a little split back and forth. And maybe I'm not totally settled on it yet. It's just like the last win was Gerald Mearshot and losing to Junior Park and Gregory Rodriguez, which are good, people to lose against, I guess. But then only winning against Chris Weidman, losing to Bruno Silva, Dricus Duplessis. Losing to Bruno Silva isn't great, and he lost to him in the first round. So, yeah, I'm just going with Bryczek here. I think he's just going to push forward on Tavares, and I don't think he's going to be able to get taken down. Hey, how low that striking accuracy, though, is. Goodness gracious. Let's get ourselves together here, shall we? All right, moving on, shall we? Sam Patterson, Trey Waters. Man, Sam Patterson, thank goodness, getting back on track after the Yanal Eshmous fight on a 3-fight win streak, okay? Almost win against Nasrat Haqparast. That would have shot him up a little bit quicker if he could have gotten that fight in won it. But nonetheless, 3 first-round finishes going against Trey Waters. Sam Patterson at 6'3". Trey Waters at 6'5" at welterweight. They said, Neil Magny, that's cute. You're the tall guy of the welterweight division. They said that's funny. Similar reach, similar age. This matchup was made for a reason, to say who is going to be the real tall guy. And I think it's going to be Sam Patterson. I think because of his grappling edge, he's just going to be able to add another layer to the game that's going to get Waters just more on the defensive throughout the fight. I don't think Waters could maybe snatch up a guillotine because of, the Sam Patterson's neck being a little bit easier to grab. I could see that, and he's definitely a higher volume striker. I feel like the reach advantages are all mitigated here, so it's going to go with Sam Patterson, who's going to push the pace space wise and trying to get a takedown. So I'm going with Sam Patterson here. Next, we got the Hardwick Harry. Whew, my man is I just feel bad things are about to happen. I feel like the Hardwick family is about to fall up. It's already happened to George. Okay? It's already happened to George. And now Harry Hardwick filling in for Fares Siam going against Cal Fernandes. Now if Fares Siam was the guy who was supposed to fight Cal Fernandes, don't get me wrong, Harry Hardwick is a good fighter. I would never say he's like mid or anything. I think he has potential, but Fares Siam is pretty much like top 15 lightweight. Like, and if you got Cal going against him, I don't know. I think it's going to be tough. I don't think Cal is going to get taken down. I mean, he's got his own takedown game that he has. I think Henry is going to sadly be going against a 73-inch reach for lightweight is not bad either at 5'9". Not giving up much really in the size department. Hardwood coming up to 155, man. I don't know. It's a hard sell for me. You're going against a highly, highly touted prospect, and he was going against an even higher touted prospect. It's hard for me to... You can't pick against Fernandes here. I feel like the odds are in the right place because Hardwick is a live dog for sure. He is a live dog, but not live enough for me. I'm going to leave him on the side of the road, sadly. Apologies. Sorry, my British people. All right, moving on. Marcin Tybura. Ante Delija. Ante Delija out here trying to do something in the UFC. We'll see. Heavyweight is it's a division. It's a division, Had a bit of a struggle here lately, but Ante Delija doing his thing in PFL and then getting a little win over a UFC vet in Yorgan De Castro. Not a great UFC vet, but finishing him off in 42 seconds as he should. Winning the title at one point in PFL and also beating Hernan Ferreira. He's got some decent wins under his belt, but Marcin Tybura, even at his old age of 39, shut down Mick Parkin. And it makes me wonder, is Ante Delija better than Mick Parkin? Man. My answer to that question is yes. I do think Ante Delija is slightly better than Mick Parkin. And I think that slight bit of edge is what he needs to be Marcin Tybura. I'm hoping Ante Delija weighs in heavier for this bout. Maybe puts a little bit of weight on here, a little bit of muscle maybe. Marcin, though, I mean, he showed a good cardio. He showed a good ability to keep throwing shots, throw different shots too for heavyweight. I'm saying relative to heavyweight. Okay. It's a close fight. This is a coin toss in my opinion. You are just getting a slightly better version of Mick Parkin, which was a close fight also. So I'm going with Ante Delija. I think he can nullify the grappling, and I think he can throw some big shots and hurt Marcin possibly. That's what I'm predicting. All right. Yeah, look at that. Some good money to be made here. Okay. Some good money to be made here. Especially by submission Marcin. If Marcin gets on top, man, this isn't bad. I didn't even click over to any of these. There could have been some good little side things there. All right, moving on. All right, we got Oumar Sy. Oumar? I don't know how to say that actually. Versus Brinson Ribeiro. All right. I think this Brinson Ribeiro thing, we gotta chill out. We gotta chill out. I'm getting a little over picking Brinson Ribeiro at this point. Oumar Sy looks fantastic. Okay, he's got a great build for the division. 206, 83-inch reach, absolutely ridiculous. Great accuracy. Okay, it's similar to earlier. It's like you got two similar guys who are rocking similar sets where someone has a slight edge. But this time I'm giving it to the guy who's a little bit longer and taller. I think he takes away what Brinson Ribeiro's best weapons are. So I think that's just it. I think Brinson Ribeiro could get finished here. Obviously, Brinson Ribeiro's always got a puncher's chance. He's got good power, especially with his straight shots. So we'll see. I just think Brinson Ribeiro leaves himself wide open, hands low. And that's going to be tougher against a guy that's pretty much going to nullify his advantages that he naturally has, you know. So yeah, Sy's about to, man. It feels like Brinson Ribeiro is older than he is, but it's just he has so many fights. All right, next another Frenchman, William Gomis versus Robert Ruchała. All right, Robert Ruchała definitely has a good style to go against William Gomis. All right, he definitely has a good style. It's just, I think the southpaw look that Gomis is gonna get, Ruchała may take advantage and get single legs off of that, but I think the speed and athleticism difference is very apparent. Gomis looked great against Brito and fought in the clinch really well, switched position really well, had his own grappling highlights, and really used his features well to like use those long legs to poke out with the front kicks. At 6 foot tall, it definitely helps. Losing to Hyder Emil, man, no shame in that at a split decision. Hyder Emil is an absolute dog. I don't think Ruchała is a bigger dog, and Gomis just went through like I feel like a better version of him already, to be honest. So unless Ruchała can get the takedowns, which I just can't see, I feel like Gomis going against his previous opponents, man, he already looks like he's ready to start scratching the 20 range of featherweight. I mean, oh god, I don't even know if I can say that. So many. The featherweight division is absolutely insane right now. The Contender Series featherweights that have come on recently have also been insane. So I don't even know what to expect. I don't even know what to expect with the featherweight division. They're cooking something crazy right now over there. So keep watching along that. Next, we're going to Patricio Pitbull versus the newcomer, I think it's Losene, Keita. This dude is absolutely ridiculous. I'm pretty sure 145 and 155 double champ in Octagon. All right, this guy does not mess around. In his previous Octagon appearance, he gets to lightweight, and then keep in mind, gets his featherweight belt, climbs to the lightweight rankings in Octagon. Fought 3 times as a contender at lightweight in Octagon before, and won those fights before getting to his title fight against Ronald Paradisier, and that fight was insane. Just to watch Keita with such a shorter stature to his opponent and like not having as much of a size advantage, still applying the most intelligent pressure I've seen a fighter do, and just pick amazing shots. And he keeps such a just safe, efficient stance and doesn't leave himself like hanging out at all. He's going against someone who is similar to him in that way. I'd say it's a very interesting matchup. We got a lot of similarities here, but dude, Keita, I feel like the experience he has at the weight classes he has, in what my opinion is an equivalent organization, in my opinion. Bellator and Octagon, I mean, what difference are we really talking here? What difference are we really talking here? We're talking about a double champ in Octagon and a double champ in Bellator. One's American and one's not. That's what I think. That's what I think. So I'm going with Keita. I think he's going to make a amazing debut. Don't get me wrong. Pitbull will look good against Dan Ige. But even Dan Ige's style is not to the level of like MMA that Keita is. Dan Ige has a lot of good specialties that he has, but Keita is, I think, a complete fighter. And I think he's going to come in make a very good statement in this fight. I'm hoping he gets a finish, but that's a kind of a big ask on Pitbull. So I will think he will get a decision out of here. Unanimous, too. I'm hoping unanimous, so we'll see. Next. Great card, man. Especially for just, like, the European crowd. Sola versus Rhys McKee. Skeletor. They hate him. They hate Rhys McKee in this. The UFC hates him. I don't know what Rhys McKee did. They hate him. This style is rough for Rhys McKee. Going against an undefeated prospect who was just going on a tear in, what was the organization? Excuse me. Let me just get that back up real quick. Sola was going on an absolute tear in a decent organization. Aries FC defended his title 4 times. Goodness gracious. So 5 title fights and getting fight of the night in 2 of those. Fight of the night in one of those, performance of the night in the other. And the ground and pound, the grappling, the stature of the 5'11" versus 6'2", like good height for him to get under Rhys McKee. Man, I mean, Rhys McKee's gotten good, and he's trying his best not to get taken down out here, but they got a young, undefeated dude who fights out of southpaw who can grab a single leg probably. And they giving him the favorite too. Rhys McKee's a live dog at these odds, I will say. Not bad. Oh, man, it'd be nicer if he was a bigger underdog, though. Goodness gracious. Rhys McKee getting a submission like a guillotine. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm going with Sola here. It sucks for Rhys McKee because I actually do think he's pretty entertaining. But yeah, no, I think it's going to be Sola. Moving on. Oki versus Mason Jones. Bolaji. Is it matching up? Yeah, Tapology and got it at a -160, but here on ESPN it got -135 for Mason Jones, which I do agree with. This is a close fight, but Mason Jones, the streak he's on right now, he put on a great fight with Jeremy Stephens. Poor Jeremy Stephens. What a fight to come back to. I couldn't believe Jeremy Stephens' chin was like that. That was crazy to me. But on a 5-fight win streak here, going 4 fights in Cage Warriors, and then making a great debut in the UFC, and only losing before that in the UFC to Mike Davis and Ludovic Klein, beating David Onama, by the way. And Mike Davis he's back, all right? Mike Davis is back and had a tough fight against SCM. Can you blame him? But Mike Davis is back, and he went to a decision unanimous with him and had fight of the night with him. He was able to hang with Mike Davis, and he lost to Ludovic Klein. Like, these are not bad losses, and he's still a live prospect in the UFC, man. Mason Jones, I think he's got this, man. I really do. Oki, not. It's just like the competition. Like you got guillotined by Chris Duncan. I feel like Chris Duncan's kind of like the fraud checker a bit. Chris Duncan, I think, he's graduated from that now. I think he's definitely graduated from that now, but yeah, I don't know. I think Mason Jones' streak that he's on is a little too hot, and he's gonna be able to keep up with the pace of Oki and get some takedowns in of his own. So yeah, I'm going with Mason Jones here. All right, next Modestas Bukauskas versus Paul Craig. Paul Craig again at 205. Oh, God. Yeah, no. Modestas is not going to get taken down by Paul Craig. Modestas is going to stand Paul Craig up every time he wants to go to his back and go to guard. Modestas Bukauskas is going to knock out Paul Craig. That is what I have to say about that. Next. Benoit Saint-Denis versus Mauricio Ruffy. By the way, I guess they're vets. And Paul Craig has submitted Ankalaev. I was about to say, why is he on the main card? That's weird to me. I don't understand that. but they're entertaining, I guess. Benoit Saint-Denis versus Mauricio Ruffy. Tough matchup. Good matchup. Odds, I think, are correct. And I do think Mauricio Ruffy is going to win this fight. I think Mauricio Ruffy's jiu-jitsu style that he has makes it a lot tougher for Benoit Saint-Denis to actually get off if he does get takedowns. That's, I think, the problem here. And then along with that, you got Ruffy's footwork, his low hands, his ability to sprawl. It's so many barriers to entry for Saint-Denis to get any sort of grappling game going. And in terms of striking, Saint-Denis is there to be hit. Dustin Poirier showed us that. All right? Ruffy is going to find openings, and he's going to touch that chin, I think, pretty darn well. And especially from this orthodox southpaw stance, I think Ruffy's going to be able to play into that pretty darn well. And I don't think Saint-Denis is going to be able to play that southpaw game to really take advantage of that open stance the same way that Ruffy is. So, going with Mauricio Ruffy here. Now, the main event. Nassourdine Imavov versus Caio Borralho in the sort of makeshift bracket of the middleweight division to see who fights Hamza between Imavov and Borralho, and then what was it? Oh my gosh, I'm absolutely blanking on that Dutch dude's name. Oh my God, Reiner de Ritter. Huh, goodness gracious. And who was Reiner de Ritter fighting? It was Fluffy Hernandez. That's right. So that's our bracket that we got going. It's hard for me. It's. Oof. I can't believe Cal came out as the favorite for this one, and he's the same odds on Tapology. Yeah, I would so think it would be Imavov coming off as the favorite, just because he seems a little bit heavier with his hands, and he's maybe not like a little bit less cleaner on the striking, but I just think Borralho's there to be taken down. And he's there to be hit too. Jared Cannonier showed man, Borralho's showing he's got a good chin. But like, what are the ways of Borralho to finish? Like, that's what I'm wondering. What are the ways of Borralho to finish? These are my questions. Like his last person that he finished was Paul Craig. Couldn't finish Abbas Magomedov and choked Mikhail Oleksiejczyk. That doesn't mean anything to me. He's a very, very impressive, technical, efficient fighter. That's how I would describe Borralho. Definitely fighting nerd. I think that's a great description for Borralho. This southpaw orthodox stance is interesting. I just feel like the clinch game in cage wrestling just goes to Imavov more. The jiu-jitsu and being able to maneuver on the ground, I think, was going to favor Borralho. But that doesn't mean necessarily that Imavov is going to like try and go for that many takedowns. He might just try to control along the fence a good bit and like break off and throw shots, try to hurt Borralho. It makes me want to go with Imavov. I want to go with the safer option, which I don't think the odds reflect the safer option. In fact, oh my God, what does Tapology say in terms of who's picking who? It's got to be like 50. Wow. 51% Imavov, 49% Borralho. That's absolutely amazing. I love this. Wow. Most people think 80% think it's Borralho decision, 75 think it's Imavov decision. The rest of it, no one's picking Imavov by submission. They got the rest of the 25% that picked Imavov picked KO. Then the rest of the 20% of Borralho picked split on KO and submission. Can't believe they're heavy on KO. Why? I mean, he's getting cleaner with the hands. Ugh. And Imavov's got the longer legs, man. Yeah, no, I'm going Imavov. I think he's stronger. I think he's got a better weight cut. And he's gonna have heavier hands. Imavov's been finishing like lately, and I think he's worked on his cardio too. Since his Sean Strickland fight, right? Man. Yeah, being able to finish Izzy, man, overhand right, like just being able to, he's just got these accomplishments that it's like, is Borralho on that level? Has he even shown us that? I just don't think so. mean, I think Borralho's a great fighter. I think he still can win a decision, but I don't think he can finish. I think Imavov has the better chance to finish or win a decision. That's the thing. But all right, those are my picks. Let me know what you think I got right, what you think I got wrong. You know, these are a lot of close odds on this. I say the best parlay you can make. Keita. You want Keita. You want Sy. All right. You want. Oof. You want. I was about to say Fernandes to be disrespectful to Hardwick, but I won't do that. You want Gustafsson, and you want Sean Abannon as a big underdog, just that's the D-Gen parlay, baby. That's how you know, because we're picking a women's MMA underdog. But the odds don't matter on those, so we're good. All right, let me know what you think. See ya. Don't forget to like and sub.